Did you know that around 1,200 people move to Florida every day? That's 438,000 people each year that make the Sunshine State their home. Think about all that continuously added traffic. Moving to Florida is often viewed as a dream come true with its sunny beaches, warm weather, and attractive tax policies. But many new residents find themselves blindsided by some of the state's more challenging realities. Why might people be shocked and blindsided by some of Florida's realities?
Well, I'm here to tell you it's not all sunshine and beachy in the state of Florida.
And we're going to look at some common experiences shared by residents and experts when moving to Florida. Each of these reasons address a distinct aspect of life in Florida that can often catch newcomers off guard. Have you ever heard of a sinkhole before? So it's just you casually driving down a Florida road. Boom! Sinkhole, and you're caving into the earth. Plot twist, the sinkhole fills with water and you can't get out of your car. I hope you have a sunroof to climb out of. Florida's geology makes it particularly prone to sinkholes, which are depressions or holes in the ground caused by the collapse of the surface level. The state's limestone foundation can dissolve over time due to water erosion, creating underground voids that can suddenly collapse. Imagine standing outside, minding your own business, then the ground suddenly crumbles beneath you.
This is definitely worse than an earthquake.
The issue is so prevalent that some homeowners are required to buy separate sinkhole insurance, and there are neighborhoods across the state that have been completely abandoned due to large sinkholes. While sinkholes can occur anywhere in Florida, they are particularly common in central regions like Ocala, Orlando, and Tampa. Is the idea of moving to Florida already sinking? You can't have Florida without its wildlife. Florida's wildlife can be one of the most shocking aspects of the state for new residents. Many newcomers are surprised to find alligators in ponds, rivers, and even swimming pools. Now, alligators have a common ancestor to dinosaurs, and they're just like hanging out in Florida. Or imagine after a long day, a New Yorker who recently relocated to Florida comes home to find a huge iguana running alongside his front door. No thanks. Regardless of the overflowing amount of alligators and iguanas, this New Yorker also needs to watch out for snakes. Lots of snakes. Oh, and don't forget the several venomous species of rattlesnakes and water moccasins, which are extremely common in Florida. Oh my gosh. There are also large populations of wild boars and panthers. The state's subtropical climate creates an ideal environment for diverse and, at times, dangerous wildlife that many people from other parts of the U.S. are unprepared for. The risk of encountering an alligator or snake in your backyard is real, especially in suburban areas near bodies of water. And I can assure you that Florida has many bodies of water, including nearly 8,000 lakes and thousands of miles of man-made canals, along with extensive wetlands. Many of us have seen the viral video after Hurricane Milton when a sanitation truck, minding its own business, was driving down a flooded street when an alligator swam right up to it and takes a bite out of its tire.
Sorry. That was a big alligator just bit our tire. Oh my god!
Me being a snack for an alligator is just not a good look. Drop a comment and let me know what animal you fear the most.
With all the crazy surprises Florida has to offer, let's talk about the cost of homeowners insurance. In fact, Florida's property insurance market is the most expensive in the nation. Due to the constant threat of hurricanes, floods, and sinkholes, homeowners insurance rates are significantly higher than many other states. It's like you need a manual on all the insurances any Florida resident may need. This is compounded by the fact that some insurance companies have pulled out of Florida, leaving residents with fewer options and even higher premiums. Many people who move to Florida expecting to save on taxes are shocked to learn that the cost of insuring their homes can eat up a big chunk of those projected savings. Actually, a friend of mine is a resident of Palm Beach Gardens and was excited to buy her first home. She moved south from Connecticut to pursue a teaching job, and when her homeowner's insurance randomly doubled after only 1 year, she ended up having to rent out 2 of the rooms in her house just to cover the cost of insurance, which had since exceeded the cost of her mortgage. Y'all, her insurance is more than her mortgage. Like this video if you think that is legit insane. In the United States, you have less than a 1 in a million chance of being hit by lightning. But guess what? Your chances increased to 1 in 600,000 in Florida. Like, your odds almost doubled. Florida holds the title of lightning capital of the United States, particularly in the Tampa Bay area. The state's subtropical climate with its hot and humid summers create the perfect conditions for thunderstorms, which are frequent and intense. Florida experiences more lightning strikes per square mile than any other state, and the risk of being struck is highest during the summer months. You know, those beach months you came here for. Many new residents are shocked to discover how frequently they need to take cover during the dangerous thunderstorms and how common lightning-related injuries and damages are. Take cover for lightning was probably not on your Florida vision board. But, as a bit of good news, don't let this completely turn you off to the state because, after all, 90% of all lightning strike victims survive. Most people moving to Florida know about the state's susceptibility to hurricanes, but many are unprepared for the reality of dealing with them every year. These lived experiences are a shock.
I lived through Hurricane Katrina an hour from the coast, and we went 3 weeks without any running water, which means no baths. And we went over a month without any electricity. And yes, that also means no Wi-Fi. It was literally a game of Survivor.
The Atlantic hurricane season lasts from June through November, and while not every year brings a catastrophic storm, the constant threat looms over the state. Preparing for hurricanes requires stockpiling emergency supplies, installing hurricane shutters, and in some cases, evacuating. Like, just get out. New residents are often blindsided by the cost and stress of preparation, and those from less hurricane-prone areas may not understand the importance of readiness. Friends of mine, a Vegas couple, moved to Florida just in time for their new home to be flooded by Hurricane Helene. There was still hope for them as they grappled with the cost and annoyance of losing all their furniture and personal belongings. But at least they still had their house, right? Well, sort of. They had their house until a week later when Hurricane Milton finished off the job that Helene started. Needless to say, they are now back in Las Vegas and won't be back to Florida anytime soon. When moving to Florida, the heat is to be expected, but the humidity is what catches people off guard. While many people move to Florida for its warm weather, the reality of living in constant humidity can be a rude awakening. Florida's subtropical climate means that the temperature often exceeds 90 degrees in the summer, with humidity levels pushing the heat index well over 100 degrees. Air conditioning is essential, but even then, the humidity can affect everything from your comfort level to how quickly mold can grow in your home. If you wear glasses, it's a struggle every time you park your car at a store and open that car door, as your glasses will completely fog over. Newcomers often find it exhausting to adjust to the oppressive heat, especially if they've relocated from cooler or drier climates. The average humidity in Florida is 75%, but in some parts it can reach 90%. Compare that to Nevada, which has an average humidity level of only 33%. With that said, maybe you just want to visit Florida rather than live here with all this humidity. You really should check out plannin.com for your next trip. Plannin is a newer travel platform with great insider deals that can save you up to 40% off hotel bookings and also show you content creator recommendations. You'll save more than other booking sites and booking directly. They have over 2 million hotels worldwide in their network, so it sounds like they're ready to help you save money. Click the link in the description below to set up your free account and start saving that money. I love a good deal, and you should too. We talked about the wildlife, but not the invasive species. Florida's unique ecosystem is under constant threat from invasive species, which can have a direct impact on residents' daily lives. Burmese pythons, for example, are wreaking havoc in the Everglades. Thankfully, although a python is common in Florida, it is a non-venomous snake. Whew. Oh, but it can and will swallow you whole after it constricts around your entire body. So there's that. There are invasive plants like the Brazilian pepper tree that are disrupting natural habitats. Even species like the non-native lionfish pose a threat to Florida's marine ecosystems. New residents often don't realize how much of a problem these invaders can be until they start seeing them in their neighborhoods or noticing their environmental impact. The Burmese pythons ended up invading South Florida after Hurricane Andrew in 1992, destroying a Burmese python breeding facility, releasing all of the snakes into the Everglades. You can do the math from there.
But also, why did you pick a house next to a python breeding facility? Florida man doing Florida things.
With all these Florida newcomers, think about the increased traffic and urban sprawl. With Florida's growing population, traffic congestion has become a major issue, particularly in cities like Miami, Orlando, and Tampa. Many newcomers are shocked by the levels of traffic they encounter, especially since public transportation options are limited compared to other states. Florida's sprawling urban development means that residents often need to drive long distances to get to work, grocery stores, or other services. The combination of heavy traffic and long commutes can make daily life more stressful than many new residents expected. For many states, there is a city, a few surrounding suburbs, and then rural areas. But Florida can feel like one giant suburb where one sprawl seamlessly blends right into the next one. Drive from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, and you will hardly notice where one city ends and the next one begins. Although you'll have plenty of time to figure it out since you'll be sitting in traffic on I-95. Florida and its bugs. Mosquitoes, palmetto bugs, and more will be the stuff of nightmares. There are over 80 species of mosquitoes in Florida. Insects are definitely a fact of life in Florida, but new residents are often blindsided by the sheer number and variety of pests they have to deal with. Mosquitoes thrive in the warm, wet climate, and many areas of the state are also home to swarms of gnats, love bugs, and palmetto bugs. If you don't know what a palmetto bug is, it's a large type of cockroach. And don't worry, these things can and will fly at you, as in turning on attack mode. Oh my gosh. Keeping these bugs out of homes and outdoor spaces requires constant vigilance, and even then, bites and infestations can be a common part of life. Pest control is a booming business in Florida for a reason. Although Florida boasts no state income tax, the costs in Florida are high just about everywhere else. One of the biggest draws for people moving to Florida is the absence of a state income tax, which can save residents thousands of dollars each year. However, what many new Floridians don't realize is that other costs like property taxes, homeowners insurance, and healthcare can be much higher than in other states. Additionally, the cost of living in popular areas like Miami and Orlando is steadily rising, and the savings from not paying state income tax may be offset by these other extra expenses. While many New Yorkers can breathe a sigh of relief at the cost, people from just about anywhere else in the country are left shell-shocked. While Florida offers beautiful beaches, warm weather, and financial perks, it also comes with significant challenges that can catch new residents by surprise. Are you a new Floridian? Let us know in the comments below what surprised you the most.